Wow, what a beautiful day!
Oh, yeah. Beauty is subjective, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
So that might not be everyone's experience today, would it? Might be better just to say, what a day.
But it's beautiful to me.
Right, but the fact that you're happy means you're experiencing some level of socioeconomic privilege.
Don't listen to this little soy boy. It's time to man up, shape up, stop talking to yourself, and get in the gym, champ.
Wait, hold on, I'm very confused.
Well, have you taken your meds today?
Forget that. You need red meat and omega-3s.
Do you think it's okay for me to say beautiful?
How do I say this in a politically correct way? No, you shouldn't say that.
There's nothing wrong with the word beautiful.
You just said I couldn't say it, though.
It's all arbitrary with the supposed Christian. It's just like what Jesus said, love your neighbor and police his speech.
I don't consider myself a Christian anymore.
You don't?
I'm a seeker.
Wow, that's beautiful. See how lame that sounded?
Fine. It's a crappy day. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Today I want to talk about...
I mean, if you want to erase those suffering from gastrointestinal issues, I suppose that would be just fine.
Why can't you just say it's a day? Like, is that so hard? Why does it need a modifier? Honestly.
Today I want to talk about...
Thanks for watching Blimey Cow. This episode is sponsored by Unbound and made possible by viewers like you.
Hey, don't forget that for this entire month, if you go to supportblimeycow.com and support us annually at any level, Josh is going to stuff a package and send you 2 shirts free. Don't forget. Today, I want to talk about a concept called the spirit of the age. The spirit of the age is that thing where you're talking to your grandparents and they say, well, I don't know, that's just how it was back then. You ever think about how when you have grandkids, they'll be asking you about all of the perfectly normal things going on in society right now? I know this seems weird, but they might have some questions.
Ha ha ha, very funny. Joke's on you though. I'm not having kids.
Can I get that in writing? So what is our current spirit? What do we call it? Well, you know us, we've thought a lot about it. And one word keeps coming to mind. Tell me if you agree. The word is deconstruction. Now, deconstruction can be a great thing. There are plenty of things, ideas, systems that need to be reconsidered, and in some cases completely destroyed, like plexiglass at the checkout counter. I'd love to deconstruct that, but right now, it's like we're all 18-month-olds. A child who is 1.5 years old has basically no skills at all. If they're playing with blocks, that means the child is just tearing the blocks apart. All an 18-month-old knows how to do is tear things down. That's what the spirit of the age feels like right now. More unhealthy destruction than deconstruction. So how do we go about fixing all of the grievances you've expressed in your, 32 tweet thread?
I shouldn't have to have the answers for you to be able to admit that there is a problem.
Right, but the problem is, I don't trust you. I think what happened was the internet. Suddenly you had so much knowledge just at your disposal.
Imagine, if you will, sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem.
And everyone thought this made people smarter, but it really didn't. All it did was give people the sense that we're better or more enlightened or more intelligent than any other previous generation. How could we not be? You can find a community of people online that believe any absurd thing that you want to be true. And don't worry, they've got evidence. But what made previous decades, centuries, millennia different was that they knew they didn't have the answers for everything. Well, except the people in power. They always hold a monopoly on the current truth, don't they? The sun does not revolve around the earth. I'm pretty sure the earth revolves around the sun.
That is dangerous misinformation. That is fake news. I'm gonna have to ban you from the platform. You want me to? Yeah, I need you to leave the platform. Go ahead. Thank you. Don't listen to that guy.
We think we know everything just because we have the instruction manual. Problem is, we don't know how to think. Josh, literally yesterday, I was taking apart something that I had bought a long time ago, and I needed to put it back together because I replaced some parts. And so I had the instruction manual, and I literally realized I was just reading the instruction manual without even having looked and like used my brain on how to take the thing apart. And it was taking me forever, and I was like, what am I doing? Threw the instruction manual away and was like, okay, if I was just going to do this, how would I do it? I did it in like 5 minutes. And now that we know everything, now that we are completely comfortable, docile, well-fed, maybe too well-fed, actually not well-fed at all, but that's another story for another day. Now that we don't have many worries in life, at least not real ones, we can start the hard work of tearing down everything that brought us to this point. Because we're all actually miserable.
Ha ha ha, self-deprecating joke about how I'm depressed, but I can't be genuine about it because I'm living my truth, and that would be like admitting that my truth doesn't make me happy. Somehow this is my parents' fault.
You've woken up every day of your life and had to make up problems for yourself because you've always been safe. But we're designed for struggle and sacrifice. So a life of safety and security, it gets boring. Your mind starts to wander. You crave dopamine, and now we have devices that provide us with that while also keeping us insulated in echo chambers. You're seeking struggle and receiving validation constantly. This is a really, really bad combination because it tricks your brain into feeling fulfilled when one level beneath you're just completely depressed. But you can't actually deconstruct yourself because then you'd realize the house of cards that you've built, so instead you just project. No, it's everything else that needs to be re-examined. I'm just a victim. Wait, what's that? Do you hear it? Could it be? Oh yes, here it comes into the station! The caveat for stupid people! You might have a terrible life. Your parents might have left you, you might have been abused, you might not know where you're getting your next meal. In these cases and others, I'm obviously not talking to you. Obviously. Honestly, I don't even know why I said that, because the people who are gonna misconstrue what I'm saying are gonna do it regardless of the caveat for stupid people, but whatever. Oh, I didn't get past the part where that angel said he wasn't a Christian. What part are you referencing? My point is that people who are actually struggling, they don't have time to spend all day on social media educating. Okay? No one watching this video has ever started a day thinking, you know, I might be bombed to death today because I live in a war-torn country. You've never had to access those survival skills. You've never experienced that level on the hierarchy of needs. And it shows. And look, full disclosure, I haven't either. Maybe soon, Josh, maybe soon. But I do spend time thinking, boy, what would I do if I couldn't access food? Or the grid went down, or other worries that people are literally experiencing right now in less fortunate places of the world. Just because we've always lived nice and comfortably doesn't mean it's always gonna be that way, guys, okay? Read a history book. I'm raising chickens now. That's maybe you need to do that too. We're like 3 missed meals away from complete anarchy. And with people's glucose spiking, Josh, they're 1 meal away, and then it's just over. All I am saying is, you need to have some perspective on the world. The world does not exist to placate you while you sit there with a magnifying glass saying, actually, this thing is bad. I'm a genius. Now, I know everyone is going to watch this and think, oh, he's talking about the liberals.
I don't think so. He's talking about the conservatives.
I'm talking to all of you. This is not about politics. Politics is the place where the dumb people live. I'm talking about the foundation. What I'm saying is we've got bigger issues than politics. I promise you, if we had a government filled with a million Bernie Sanders or Donald Trumps, Hillary Clintons or Ron DeSantis, whoever you love with your whole heart, I promise you society would still be the same way right now. It would be. The fact that we think that it'd be any different is the reason we're in the place that we're in now. Well, now I guess some people being president would usher in societal collapse quicker, which in the long run is honestly what we need.
No, society can't collapse. I wasn't finished writing my article about the racist origins of chamomile tea.
Oh, how convenient. Society collapses the same month as the FTX scandal? Interesting how that works. Wait, you're probably a fan. I shouldn't be saying these things out loud. I am not suicidal. I don't care who you vote for. I mean, I do a little bit. There just aren't enough people living with the fear of God in them right now. That's the main thing. But you know, maybe one day there will be, if things get scary enough. And that's not a prediction. It's a prophecy. Actually, it's just really, 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 really obvious. Do you want to take an honest look at yourself in the mirror, but you're kind of afraid to do that? Maybe you've taken a personality test and caught yourself adapting to what the results say about you. Well, our friends at Unbound just released a book called The Personal Triangle, the skills you need to live life well, and they're offering a free download of the full-length book exclusively for Blimey Cow viewers. Unbound specializes in training young adults with the skills and abilities they need to live and work effectively in the real world. And here's the honest truth. Your gifts, strengths, and skills can't be crammed into 9 categories or 16 types or 4 quadrants. You are far more uniquely created than that, and this book is not a personality test. It is a model to help you capitalize on your core strengths. You'll have to intentionally account for your weaknesses and then grow in the direction that your interests take you. So if that sounds cool, if you feel a little confused and maybe you're trying to figure out what comes next for you, visit beunbound.us/BlimeyCow to download your free full-length copy of that book today. Again, that's beunbound.us/BlimeyCow. Go get the book.
Because I feel like I'm so inundated with information all the time that I don't want more. Don't you ever feel like it's just constant bombardment?
I don't know. I guess the thing I'd resent most is I would resent that, at least when you're home, if the phone rings, you have the option of not answering it. On the internet, people can send you messages all the time people you don't even want to hear from.